Okay, good afternoon, everyone. Welcome back to the topic of tourism property planning. Yeah. Jadi on the last session we have talked about the planning itself. Last week we talked about budgeting, and today as the sorry, it must be some situation. Is that everything clear now? Can you hear my voice, video? Is that everything okay?
Nggih, Pak.
All good, yeah.
Iya Pak,
Okay, good,
aman
yeah.
Pak.
Nggih.
Good, very good, yeah. So let me continue to check and show you what will be happening today, yeah. Okay. Okay, so I hope everybody can see this slide. Okay, so today the topic is, the class will be talking about maintenance in tourism property. So by the end of this class, we expect that everybody can understand the definition, objective, theories related to repair and maintenance. So that you can study by yourself. So we will talk more about the sample from your respective business or a few samples that I prepared already. Yeah. And then, as usual, if anybody would like to discuss on something, will be very much appreciated. Also, in these activities, we will expose a little bit more about the technological aspect in repair and maintenance. I will have some video sample also on this. So, and we will close with Q&A, yeah, as usual. At the end of the class, I also will give you some hints about the test, the UTS, yeah, ujian tengah semester that will be happening next week from my side, yeah. So you don't need to worry about that, yeah. Good. Learning objective, this is same as last week. This is, I will not refresh again. So we start with this one. Last week, I request everybody to do a little bit study on definition, objective, property maintenance. Yeah, so we don't need to explain again about the theory and everything. So I hope everybody done it already. And then I also request that everybody also to check the systematic of your property maintenance in your respective organization. Yeah. So whatever business that you have, of course, you are in a property. So maybe in this regards, I would like to give some triggers on how a property doing the maintenance of things. Yeah. A simple thing is your house gitu. So how you do the repair and maintenance, how the budgeting and everything. Yeah. So let's start with this one. Maybe anybody would like to give some sample on this, please? So siapa yang mungkin bisa bantu menjelaskan what will be the systematic of property maintenance in your respective areas? Tunjuk deh ya. Okay, let's have some sample from Nuanu. Seva, gimana di Nuanu? What do you do for repair and maintenance? Halo, Seva, bisa dengar?
Iya, Bapak, mohon maaf saya izin off cam karena
No
sedang
worries.
event di tempat kerja.
No worries ya. Jadi Seva mungkin can you explain to us in Nuanu as an object pariwisata gitu. How do you do the repair and maintenance? How is the budgeting? Who is arranging? Are you having a special department on that, or are you outsourcing? Yang kayak kayak begitu ya. Please, go ahead.
Okay, thank you, Pak. So basically, in Nano Creative City, we have the specific department that we called PCM, Project Control Manager, that their responsibility um, to control the budget of the at the Nuanu area, Nuanu Creative City area, especially if there's any new building or new project that will come.
Okay. So, how is the budgeting process, Zeva, if you know a little bit, if you can share a little bit?
So the budgeting process that I know is because I'm uh not that into with that
It's okay.
department.
It's
So what
okay.
I know is the PCM department that they working with the operational department. They discussing and managing the budgeting. They control the process and the budget and the contractor because what I know that Nuanu Creative City has uh, the contractor itself.
Okay. How big is this Nuanu creativity, Zeva? I mean, the size, land.
The land
Yeah,
area
yeah.
is 44 hectare with 30%. 30% sorry, the 70% is the green area and the 30% is the project area.
Okay. 30% building area, 70% green area gitu.
Yes, correct, Pak.
Okay. So that 70% also you do some maintenance, right? Apa dibiarin
Yes,
aja?
yes, correct, correct.
So how
The
do you do that? Siapa yang ngelakuin itu?
Uh, we have that department, the team. We call it a ground team, uh, ground team and landscape team, and also environment team. So they manage and observing what we need, what what the land is need to be uh protecting or others.
Very good. Yeah. How many people are there to do the repair and maintenance?
Around for the ground team, around 50. For the
Oh,
landscape team, the main team is around 10, and environment is around 20.
very good. Yeah. Okay. Thank you very much, ya, Seva, for sharing the implementation on that very big scale of property. Yeah. Thank you very much. Yeah. So if everybody
My
can,
pleasure, Pak.
yeah, thank you very much. Yeah. So if anybody can see in a big property like Nuanu Creativities, I believe repair and maintenance is a very one of the very important aspek gitu ya. Jadi product is their main attraction, but of course if you are not doing a good repairs and maintenance, the selling point of Nuanu will be getting less and less. Yeah, that's something that to give some indication to everybody the importance of this repair and maintenance. Yeah, good. Thank you, Zeba. Anybody else would like to give some points on this?
Oh, dulu Ibu di sana kan sampai
Boleh,
habis
Pak.
aja jualan. Di sini sampai malam jualan.
Itu ada yang bocor
Halo,
itu,
Bu.
Ibu Putu, Mega. Ya, thank you. Pak Dewo, you want to try something? Pak Dewo Dukakis?
Nggih, kalau dados niki itu aja
Ya, please.
sharing-sharing. Oke, sebelumnya yang di lembaga pelatihan kerja, tapi kah terdengar suara yang
Terdengar, terdengar. Go ahead Pak Dewa.
oke, kebetulan agak berbeda dengan Nuanu. Memang kami lembaga pelatihan kerja swasta dari yayasan. Ya, dan kebetulan memang punya SOP untuk pemeliharaan juga nih Ketua Ji. Oke, jadi
Ya,
dari sisi pemeliharaan kami ada proses ada program kerjanya juga. Setiap bulan itu memang ada beberapa hal yang di-maintain karena kebetulan konsepnya ada kami itu from the garden to the table. Jadi ada gardennya, kemudian ada buildingnya juga. Kita ada 50 are luasnya, kemudian bangunan sekitar 30% itu bangunan, tetapi atapnya itu kita buatkan garden lagi.
Oke.
Dan
Mungkin Pak
jadi
Dewa
di
can
sana
explain a
ada
little bit about your LPK sedikit Pak. Mungkin
Yes.
diceritakan sedikit apa itu jenis bisnis lembaga pelatihan
Oke.
kerjanya Pak, itu kayak apa tipenya itu?
Lembaga pelatihan kerja, we are work in hospitality industry, and
Good.
our major is for culinary program,
Right.
and that is for the untuk masyarakat kurang mampu. Jadi kami memberikan jadi sedikit memberikan bantuan kepada masyarakat kurang mampu, disadvantage financial student from the senior high school. Jadi kita bantu mereka selama 6 bulan pelatihan di kami, kemudian 6 bulan lagi di industri.
Ya.
On the
Lokasi
job
di mana Pak?
training.
Lokasinya di mana?
Lokasinya di Desa Les, Tejekule nih ke Bapak.
Oh, oke. I know, ya. Good, ya.
Iya.
Les is
Jadi
very famous with
Buleleng.
arak also Pak Dewa ya.
Nggih. Alkoholnya ada tinggi, tuanya nih ke.
Very famous with tua and arak ya. So everybody, if you would like
Yes,
to
yes.
try a real Balinese tua and arak, you can contact Pak Dewa Dukakis maybe ya. Okay, go ahead Pak Dewa. What is your repair and maintenance program in your respective property, please? Gimana caranya?
Caranya kami kebetulan ada wastewater garden juga. Cuman Nike dibuatnya itu sudah natural dengan saringan batu-batu dan lain sebagainya. Hanya saja maintenance itu kayaknya dari ahlinya sendiri memang menyampaikan itu harus dilakukan 2 tahun sekali. Jadi
Right.
kebetulan kami belum berdiri 2 tahun, jadi itu masih dalam tahap kontrol. Jadi kami ada checklist maintenance baik secara garis besar dan juga secara maintenance yang setiap hari, daily check, biasanya lampu diperiksa dan lain sebagainya.
Yeah.
Kalau dari sisi budget plan-nya, kami biasanya buat budget plan untuk setahun dengan forecast yang karena sudah berjalan, ada forecast yang sebelumnya kita lihat dan bisa dipergunakan untuk tahun-tahun berikutnya.
Yeah.
Itu aja.
Okay. Karena in the field of culinary, Pak Dewa, how do you ensure sudah kualitinya standar, HACCP and everything? So gimana? Ada audit kah dari luar, or somebody doing internal audit or something?
Kita ada proses akreditasi untuk lembaga juga, Ji. Kebetulan kemarin 2024 kami sudah di audit juga, artinya diakreditasi, dicek secara kelengkapan sarana dan prasarana sampun memenuhi.
Okay, very good ya. Okay, very good. Thank you very much Pak Dewa for the sharing ya. Jadi in this field,
akan di jalan.
It's okay ya. Take care ya, hati-hati di jalan Pak Dewa ya. Sambil setia.
Siap.
Okay, take care. Thank you very much ya. So if we see the sample of Dewa Dukakis in one of the culinary things related properties gitu, I believe the maintenance is also one of the very important things ya. So if in regards to culinary, one of the aspect is hygiene and sanitation, and then one is the aspect is they call it HACCP gitu ya, the hazardous materials and everything. That very much related on the maintenance of the property itself. For instance, when people having the trash, for instance, which is now having one of big problem in Bali, for instance, and then one of the thing is about the water when you are going out, coming in. That's also something that have a very much involvement in property and maintenance. Yeah, very good. Yeah, thank you. So thank you for these 2 samples. But if anybody, the others, yeah, can you please start thinking on what is the program or what is happening in your respective areas, yeah. Now let me continue with some sample, some other theory on this, yeah. Aman. Okay, so let me continue. Yeah, so this, please take a look again. Maybe by the end of the class, I would like to see some more sample from you guys if we have still some time, yeah. Okay. Okay, so this is another theory, yeah. In property, tourism property, hotels especially, this part of the assignment, they call it POMEC, yeah, POMEC, which stands for property operation, maintenance, and energy cost, yeah. Energy mainly they put in this section because people that doing this that normally called engineer gitu, they are the one that ensuring the efficiencies of the cost, ensuring the availability of this energy cost and everything. Yeah. So they are in one department normally. Yeah. So by definition, they are having some financial metrics as explained by Zeva and Dewa just now. Yeah. Managed by engineering department covering expenses for the maintenance of building like machinery service, HVAC. HVAC is what is that called? Ventilation and air condition, something like that. Yeah. So plumbing, and then utility consumption like electricity, water, gas, and everything. Yeah. So if we see in the department, mainly they are saying this department as a POMEC. Some call it engineering, some call it POMEC, but they are more or like the same. Yeah. And then repair and maintenance. What is that the difference? Repairs are done after downtime to minimize losses. So repairs is basically fixing, memperbaiki gitu ya. Jadi maintenance is done to prevent unexpected asset downtime. Jadi maintenance adalah meyakinkan waktu hidupnya jadi lebih lama gitulah kira-kira ya. Jadi when you have some cars, even though your car is not broken, you still go to the garage kan. Jadi tetap kita melakukan service kan gitu. That's maintenance. Gitu. Tapi if your car having some problem during your usage, then you do repairs, mungkin perbaikan mesin dan lain sebagainya. This both is very crucial in property business ya. Jadi both repair and maintenance have the same end goals to enable you to get the most out of your asset. Yeah. It is not always recommended to do maintenance only gitu, because some units they just how can you call? They just need to be used one and then finish, something like that. Yeah. For instance, when you have water pump, for instance, yeah, there is a water pump that quite value for money, so you don't need to really maintain all the time. So instead of you repairs, you buy the new one, that kind of thing. So my point is, within the whole property that we have, we know the schedule of maintenance, gitu, and we know which one that need to be repairs or you replace with the new one. So not everything need to be repairs if the cost of doing or buying new thing is not much different with the repairs itself. Yeah. Okay. Okay. And then in this world of maintenance, there are some terminologies again. Yeah, they call it some maintenance, and then refurbishment and renovation. So what is that? The difference? Refurbishment means carrying out work in a building or structures with the emphasis on changing and or upgrading it. Gitu ya. Refurbishment itu kalau dia masih berbentuk or still in the shape of existing function, gitu, they call it refurbishment. Maintenance means care and or upkeeping that is planned, routine or urgent that keeps the building or structures in a proper condition or working orders. Like AC to stay cool, then you do maintenance gitu ya. Some equipment that need to be clean is a maintenance gitu. A little bit of painting is a maintenance gitu. Some cleaning is also maintenance gitu. But refurbishment means quite all aspect that we change but within the same function. Maksudnya kalau ada ruangan kelas, for instance, if the function of the class we all being painted, we change a little bit of the furniture and fixture in the same area, that's still considered a refurbishment gitu ya. Even though you painted all the building. But if it is a renovation, the main difference between refurbishment and renovation is that refurbishment focuses on improvement aesthetic, while renovation changes the entire structure of building. Jadi kalau dia refurbishment, mempercantik gitulah kira-kira, to make it more aesthetic. Gitu. While renovation, changing the entire structure of the building. Berubah dia strukturnya, berubah dia fungsinya, you know that kind of things ya. So why we need to know this kind of things gitu? In budgeting of engineering, dalam budget engineering, this type of thing goes to different chart of accounts gitu ya. Jadi kalau maintenance, you predict by forecasting, seperti tadi yang dibilang oleh Pak Dewa gitu ya. Capital expenditures gitu, jadi goes to owning company. Ya, mungkin saya enggak jelaskan, I will not explain too much on this accounting thing. Gitu. The difference is when you are a manager of a properties, your responsibilities of the cost mainly above GOP kan gitu, di atas GOP. Jadi revenue, cost expenses become profit kan gitu. Maintenance goes to expenses gitu. While renovation and ya, mohon maaf ini kayaknya main-main WiFi saya sebentar ya. Saya pindah dulu ke ke sinyal HP ya sebentar ya. Moment please. Sebentar ya. Oke, good. Ya, mudah-mudahan lebih stabil ini sinyalnya sekarang. Oh, kok ini? Bentar. Okay, yeah, sorry for the disturbance. Okay, so maybe the one that interrupted just now, let me just summarize the point. The point is, as a chief engineer or as a manager of a one property, we need to know a type of works that we do in the hotels. Either they are a repair or maintenance, are they a refurbishment or renovation? A maintenance is something that you prepare based on the schedule of forecasting gitu. A repairs is something that you budgeted just in case it is happening, because we don't know sometimes when they will be broken or not, right? Jadi maintenance itu sudah kita budgetkan sesuai dengan target. Repairs kita jaga-jaga supaya kalau terjadi ada poinnya gitu. While a refurbishment or a renovation, something that we schedule based on the approval of owners, karena they are going to, the post will goes to capital expenditures ya. Jadi itu bedanya ya. Good. Any question from that one? Atau any comment? Maybe you do different thing in your respective area. We can discuss. Okay, let me continue again ya. Okay, so what will be the area of responsibilities ya? This is only a few samples gitu ya. But my point is, when you have a certain area of a property, when we are talking about repair and maintenance, that property have to be divided clearly with a specific responsibility on that particular area ya. Jadi maksudnya setiap jengkal properti harus jelas who is the one that handling that one gitu. Jadi jangan sampai ada any corner that people don't know who will taking care of this, something like that ya. Jadi harus jelas ada batasan siapa dihandle oleh siapa gitu, dan perbaikan siapa menghandle siapa, begitu kira-kira ya. Gitu. In hotels ya, normally the cleaning and maintenance of the public area, like the corridor, like the lobby, like the toilets in public area, that goes to public area coordination normally from housekeeping gitu ya. A garden like Nuanu that have 70% of the property is a garden, normally goes to gardeners gitu ya. Nah, talking about the clear area, this is one sample ya. Between a public area and a garden, for instance ini, when you have a corridor and then you have some space in between and then you have garden, this must be very clear, the difference between which one, until which segment goes to public area, until which segment goes to garden gitu. Otherwise, that area will not be cleaned by anybody gitu, or one area will be cleaned twice gitu, which is not efficient gitu. Nah, jadi harus jelas. Anggap ini ada koridor, ada batu-batu gitu, sebelahnya garden. Nah, this batu-batu also have to be clear siapa yang handle kemana gitu ya. Recreation normally taking care of pools. This is all the same. Between a pool and a garden have to be very clear. In the area between a pool and garden gitu, gimana itu gitu ya. Back office normally handled by each department ya. Restaurant, F&B service, kitchen or culinary by kitchen, and utilities itu like the genset, chiller, boiler, you know, that big things that goes to engineering, spa, etc. Now maybe anybody can relate this to your specific areas gitu ya. Like in PIB, for instance, it's a very big area ya, because I've been there and it's a very fantastic area and location ya. I believe a lot of space that need to be taken care ya. Maybe we can have some information after this from people that working in PIB gitu ya. Jadi harus jelas which one goes to which coordination in maintenance. Jadi kalau ada yang rusak, siapa sih yang harusnya melaporkan gitu. Jadi when something is not working in one area, who is the one that ensuring the reporting, ensuring the follow up on that things ya. even though the one that fixing will be still engineering gitu, but the one that reporting or ensuring it works is somebody that in charge in that particular area ya. Tuh. Jadi please take a look on your respective areas gitu ya. Kalau sekolah kan normally you have a class and then you have some laboratorium, you have some library mungkin. Nah, that kind of thing have to be very specifically clear on area of responsibilities ya. Ya, sorry for this up and down sinyal ya. Mudah-mudahan udah bisa kedengaran lagi ya dengan baik ya.
Oke,
Sudah, Pak.
Saput
Ya,
aja.
oke ya, mohon maaf
Sudah,
ya.
Pak.
Ini
Sudah, Pak.
ya, ini kok tumben kayak begini, padahal sudah pakai apa? Sudah spesifik signal kita pakai ya. Sorry for that ya. Oke, let me continue. Sampai mana tadi? Sampai ya, ada soalnya. Oke, section in engineering ya. Jadi in engineering, when they repair something or maintenance on something, this is a sample ya. Could be in different department or different hotels. They have different subsection like this ya. But normally this is the what do you call the section that available in engineering ya. Troubleshooter or duty engineer is somebody that do a quick fix gitu. Let's say door cannot be open. Somebody need to go there, fix in 5-10 minutes, itu troubleshooter gitu ya. Atau people cannot open the drawers gitu. People being locked in the toilet gitu. Or people AC is not so cold that they don't know how to do the remote and everything. That's a troubleshooter. But when it comes to a bigger scale of problem gitu, let's say need to have some fixed on a wooden panel gitu for instance. Need to have some big painting on the walls that already not very good condition gitu. Then it goes to civil ya. Civil itu things that related to the building, bangunannya gitu ya, temboknya, ceiling and everything, all of the building materials goes to civil section. And then goes to another thing is electrician, somebody that doing all of the electric activities, either strong current or low current, gitu ya. Somebody that connecting PLN to its MCBs, gitu ya. MCB itu main circuit breakers ya. Jadi kalau kayak di rumah kan ada tuh KWH-nya. Semua yang berhubungan dengan electricity itu normally gives to electrician gitu ya. Anything goes, anything with the electricity appliance also goes to this section. For instance, connecting of a TV, connecting of machineries and everything that needs some electricity is also goes to this one. When it comes to outside activities gitu, for instance, there is a function in Nuanu gitu, for instance ya, when you have banqueting and everything, the one that connecting the electricity also goes from that section. Yeah. So another section in engineering is HVAC, yeah, which stands for heating, ventilation, and air condition. Yeah. Heating is anything goes to water heater, and then some in laundries gitu ya, that goes to heating. Ventilation is things related to the fresh air in the rooms gitu ya. Jadi if some people don't really understand about this, besides the air conditioners, there should be also a flow of fresh air in the area, so they are not moldy gitu ya. Jadi harus ada namanya AHU, air handling unit gitu. Air handling unit is something that mixing between the fresh air and then the air conditioner that coming to the area of the rooms, restaurant, basically the one that having special how do you call it, condition of the temperatures of the rooms, yeah. Tuh. Jadi this HVAC normally doing that kind of things, yeah. The next section is utilities. As I mentioned, yeah, utilities referring to big unit of machineries gitu ya. In a hotel, in a big hotel, they have chiller to create or producing cold water gitu, and giving supply to AC in its rooms gitu ya. Jadi chiller, they can be they can be centralized, and then they can be terpisah di setiap kamar. They can be different in every rooms gitu ya. If you are seeing this current small hotels, they normally do it section by section kan gitu. Karena the more you are in one central gitu, the more difficult to do efficiencies ya, of course. Karena kalau hidup harus hidup semua gitu. Kalau mati nggak bisa efisien gitu lah kira-kira. Another sample of utilities is boiler untuk membuat air hangat gitu ya, which is goes to laundry, goes to kitchens and everything ya. Yeah. And then another section is carpenter. Carpenter is the tukang kayu gitu ya, anything with woodworks. Jadi when your tables need to be repolished, when you want to make some rug dan lain sebagainya, that goes to carpenter. They have some workshop also over there ya. This is function gitu ya. Jadi not necessarily everything part of the human resources manning of a hotel gitu ya. That's why when I asked Bu Seva just now, how do you do your team in maintenance? It could be varied. It could be your own team. It could be also outsourced ya. Jadi in current trend, a lot of people doing this kind of thing is outsourced. Only a few people that become engineering staff ya. Jadi in small hotels, maybe the duty engineers is the real staff gitu, as a troubleshooter if something goes wrong to have a quick fix gitu. But when it comes to refurbishment, renovation, that kind of things, they outsource with the third party ya. But this is the terminology ya. So at least we know the function of this engineering teams ya. Jadi teman-teman biar kebayang gitu, kalau kerusakannya apa, siapa sih yang ngerjain, begitulah kira-kira. Can you please maybe after this relate with your respective property in your business ya? Good. Itu apa lagi? Nah, ini sampel ya. Jadi I hope everybody can read this one ya. It's quite small, but this one is how a budgeting in USALI. USALI is Uniform System of Account for Lodging Industry, a standard of how you recorded this repair and maintenance ya. Jadi this expense goes to labor cost, and then below you have other expenses, the building expenses, cluster service, contract service if they go outside, corporate office reimbursement if you are part of the chain, dues and subscription and everything. Yeah, so this one, yeah, please read for 5 minutes gitu ya. So everybody can imagine basically what is the sample of the type of budgeting that available in this USALI format ya. Yeah, the miscellaneous supplies and everything, continuing training, uniform, and everything. So this one is a sample of a budgeting of repair and maintenance. So as I explained before, when it comes to maintenance, you will calculate the schedule of maintenance, putting the amount that in that particular budget. Jadi for instance, in a budget of based on our previous class about budgeting, when we are talking about 2027 budgeting, which is we are doing it now, of course we know which type of maintenance that need to be done by historical. Jadi for instance, the maintenance of IC, we do it every 3 months. Then that costs us, I don't know, maybe 20 million, for instance. So that 20 million, we post in every 3 months in the budgeting. And then when we are talking about the schedule of repainting, after 5 years, we need to repaint. And it comes to this year, then that's when we have to budget. And then when talking about repairs, since we don't know which machine will be broken, then we assume that repairs budget based on the previous arrangement plus something. Because the longer a hotel operating, normally the more broken things happening Kalau hotelnya baru, a new hotels, they normally everything still in a very good shape kan, jadi tidak banyak ada kerusakan gitu. Tapi a hotel like yang tua-tua gitu like di Nusa Dua kan banyak tuh yang Nusa Dua, Beach, Melia, the one that offer 30 years, 40 years gitu, then everything start to cascade it down Jadi need some more budgeting on repairs Itu kira-kira. Okay, and the last one, this is talking about utilities Utilities in property maintenance, referring to the energy consumption that happening. Jadi as I mentioned earlier, in engineering department or POMEC department, this section is also part of the engineering. When it comes to electricities, a property manager is somebody that ensuring the usage of electricity is always available, but also at the same time ensuring the efficiencies of this electricity also there, Jadi if let's say you are a high-rise building and then occupancy is low, only 2-3 floors is usage, berarti yang atas, the one that not used, is how do you make it, I don't know, maybe turn off the AC and everything, so it is not using a lot of electricity. In a hotel that currently built, the technology now is even though they are in the satu area yang besar, in one big area, but it is very flexible to open and close by section Jadi the efficiency is there. And then between AC and boiler is also can be a heat exchange kalau zaman sekarang Jadi maksudnya kan kalau ada pendingin, when there is a chiller like our refrigerators when they are chilling something, they are also exposing heat kan Jadi kalau teman-teman pegang belakangnya kulkas kan panas Nah, that heat in this current technology, they also can goes to heater Jadi nggak perlu bikin air panas Nah, jadi dia bisa heat exchange Jadi the one that producing chilled water, at the same time also the heat can use for heater for boiler Jadi semacam itu. Jadi the more the technology goes to the efficiencies of opening and closing, and then at the same time to use the heat exchanger, the one that taken from chiller also goes to boiler gitu ya. Kemudian ada yang namanya inverter gitu sekarang yang menyebabkan electricity not really high ya. Jadi maybe you already use in home ya. Jadi a lot of AC this time that not taking so much energy as before ya. Tuh. Kemudian gas itu in this case LPG ya. Jadi the one that LPG or LNG, the one that goes to kitchen for the cooking, the one that goes to laundry for the drying tumbler and everything. Yeah. Oil normally goes to diesel if they have something. Oil premium goes to cars and everything. Yeah. Water and sewage, either from PDAM gitu, the distributor from government, or from deep well gitu. Jadi that's the one also part of this engineering ya. Jadi in a big hotel in Nusa Dua that I know, almost every hotel, maybe all gitu ya, using additional deep well, sumur bor gitu ya, in addition to PDAM gitu. Karena PDAM supplies itu kadang-kadang kan they are not as many as expected by the hotel. They need some additional deep well to control the operation. And then steam, of course, chilled water by the chiller, fuels and everything. So this is the one that budgeted but controlled at the same time. Jadi again, the function of the engineering department to ensure the availabilities of this energy, but at the same time ensuring the usage as efficient as possible according to the operation of the hotels. Any comment atau concern from this section?
Izin, Pak.
Budgeting and everything. Yeah, please.
Eh,
Pak Hanang, ya, go ahead, Pak Hanang.
ya, izin tanya sedikit terkait utilities.
Ya.
Apabila antara aktual dan budgeting itu, misalkan kita bisa berhasil menurunkan gitu, Pak, ya, lebih menghemat dari si utilities gitu. Nah, apakah ini termasuk strategi perusahaan untuk dalam rangka ESG atau ini hanya sebatas cost efisiensi gitu, Pak ya?
Ya.
Atau ada proyeksi yang lain gitu kira-kira?
Very good question ya. Jadi bahasa Indonesianya dulu gitu ya, bahasa Indonesianya dulu ya. Jadi penanganan efisiensi itu kan disesuaikan untuk kalau bisnis nomor satu itu kan keuntungan dulu gitu Mas ya. Jadi setiap penurunan indikatornya adalah percentage gitu. Jadi seberapa fixed cost, seberapa variable cost. Jadi propertinya nggak ada tamu pun kan tetap bayar listrik kan gitu kira-kira gitu ya. Jadi pengukuran kita itu seberapa variable cost impacting to the usage of the efficiencies. Itu number one objective of a business secara umum gitu ya. Tapi di zaman sekarang kan a lot of concern also about global warming and everything kan gitu ya. Nah sekarang di samping itu benar-benar dilakukan untuk mencintai dunia gitu, tapi banyak juga penghematan energi ini dinamakan atas nama dunia, tapi sebenarnya untuk menghemat gitu ya. Jadi ada banyak, a lot of case that I know gitu ya, to show the guests that bagaimana, to create efficiencies gitu, they use version of global warming gitu. Contohnya, we don't replace your seat gitu ya, we don't replace your duvet because we don't want chemical goes to. Padahal sebenarnya kan biar nggak nge-laundry, biar nggak apa, begitulah kira-kira gitu ya. Jadi
Ya, towel juga, Pak.
towel juga, ya something like that ya. Jadi it is always good gitu ya. I mean we won both side kan gitu. Kita menang dari segi social responsibilities, kita juga menang dari sisi profit gitu ya Mas Anang. Good comment, good point ya. Any other thing? From other people? Oke, kalau tidak ada ya, saya lanjut ya. Nah, this is the sample of software gitu ya. Software on this engineering things or maintenance thing is a software that recording to ensure that everything done on plan gitu ya. Jadi kalau maintenance, they will inform us when to fix our ACs gitu ya, when to repaint our building, when to service our vehicle, that kind of things. A repair to ensure that we know what is the last repair that available, what is the consumption, and what is the best practice, itu yang penting gitu ya. Jadi apakah AC itu harus dibenerin every 3 months? Is that we need to maintain them every 3 months? We don't know kan. Jadi what is the best practice in a resort area bagaimana, in in a city area bagaimana, because climate and atmosphere also very much impacting on this maintenance and maintenance and repairs. Nah, hot sauce dan Propin ini bukan sponsor ya, is two of the software that I have used gitu. Jadi ada banyak, nanti teman-teman silahkan cari gitu ya. Tapi this two I use so I know gitu ya. So the thing that people see normally in using apps is first is the features gitu ya. I mean this software is able to do what gitu. Apakah dia cukup compatible? Is that based on our expectation? That kind of things ya. Because sometimes as an app they don't need to be so extensive if we don't use kan gitu. Ya. Sama lah kayak orang beli, people buying iPhone 17 Pro gitu, tapi you are using only for WA and call kan sebenarnya ndak full usage banget kan gitu ya. Nah, jadi that kind of thing. Jadi please use the apps of software that match your expectation of maintenance of property ya. No need to have some fancy things if you don't use it ya. Then second thing is integration. A good apps have to be atau able to integrate with property management system gitu. Jadi kalau hotel gitu kan biasanya pakai Opera, Fidelio, that kind of things ya, to handle the guest transaction and everything. So it's very good to have software that integrated with PMS, property management system. So it is not using two system in one properties gitu ya. Mungkin in kampus kan between your siakat that kind of things ada juga bisa dikonekkan dengan yang begitu ya. Tuh. And then have to be user friendly. More and more it is getting more user friendly gitu ya. Tapi pastikan our manpower at least able to operate this gitu ya. It's not something that with coding and everything yang susah-susah, ensuring that our manpower can do that. Ya. And then data storage, because this will be used forever basically, right? As long as the property is still open, then the data should still be there. Jadi the repairs record will be good if you have it forever gitu. Jadi lebih up to date gitu ya. And then the cost, there is no hidden cost like maintenance cost of the software, you have to pay this, pay that gitu, to ensure that one. And then the technology development gitu ya. Jadi in this current technology kan everything with AI, everything with big data gitu, and please ensure that the apps that you do based on that one ya. These two not that sophisticated yet gitu, but at least in the property middle size level gitu, like now I'm handling a 5-star small hotel like Dharma Wangsa, I handle Sheraton Belitung in Belitung Island gitu ya, they are using this kind of software ya. Tuh. Nah, ini kalau you want to have some more information, this is the link of hotel maintenance software if you want to know more ya. Itu silahkan dibuka di rumah. Kalau Pak Eksan pakai apa Pak Eksan? Pak Eksan ada?
Yang Pak,
Ya, pakai apa Pak Eksan?
baik Pak. Ya,
So what do you use over there Pak Eksan?
kalau yang software ya Pak ya.
Ya.
Kalau untuk yang ini sih kami masih pakai PMS Pak, PMS sama Sentek Pak masih. Jadi semuanya itu untuk operasional di departemen manapun itu gabung di situ semua. Jadi saling terkait.
Very good. Very good. Ya. Good. Nanti mungkin bisa di-share sedikit ya setelah perkuatan kalau ada waktu. Ya, good. Thank you Pak Eksan. Good. So, any question before we move on? Oke. Sekarang saya
Dikit
ingin
Bapak, dikit.
ya
Dikit.
silakan Pak Ana. Ya, go ahead.
Tadi di depan Bapak mention ada maintenance gitu, terus kemudian ada refurbish, kemudian ada renovation gitu Pak ya.
Ya,
Nah,
ya.
dalam Usali, kan ini saya pernah ngobrol dengan property manager di salah satu hotel gitu ya.
Ya.
Misalkan their carpet looks old gitu ya.
Ya.
Terus dia mengajukan penggantian seperti itu.
Ya.
Nah, cuman beliau bilang kadang-kadang ini mentok Pak di property owner gitu, bukan di
Oke.
property operator gitu Pak. Kira-kira gimana Pak itu insight ya Pak?
Ya, ya, ya. Gini. Makanya sebenarnya kan between property operator sama property owner itu they have to be in one system gitu ya. Memang trikinya begini, kalau saya pernah sebagai GM gitu ya, kan this is very important to get the best out of this gitu ya, mendapatkan yang terbaik, tapi biayanya sesuai dengan Usali gitulah kira-kira ya. Nah, jadi kita harus pinter kapan menyodorkan capital expenditure ke owner gitulah kalau menurut saya gitu ya. Nanti mungkin Pak Eksan bisa kasih sampel juga ini karena sedang menjabat gitu ya. Kalau saya pribadi saya yang mendrive owner membeli apa gitu dengan nama customer gitu Pak gitu. Jadi kalau umpamanya kayak Pak Hanang nih sering pakai hotel yang dipakai oleh organizer gitu ya kan Pak, ada event organizer gitu ya. Yang saya pakai itu namanya Pak Hanang gitu. Ini komentar dari ini karena kalau kita tidak kita kalah bersaing dengan ini apa segala macam gitu. Tapi kalau menurut saya yang sering menjadi oke dan tidak gitu ya, the thing that makes it done or not gitu is the timing of proposing the budget gitu kira-kira gitu. Jadi we have to know the financial situation of our owner gitulah kira-kira ya. Jadi jangan kayak sekarang gitu, perang Iran-Irak yang belum jelas. Sekarang kita tiba-tiba nongol nih, saya mau ganti karpet. Wah kan lucu gitu ya. Nah, itu hampir 100% akan ditolak gitu lah kira-kira. Jadi timingnya jelas gitu ya. Kalau sekarang justru kita kan efisiensi, who knows, just in case everything kan gitu ya. Tapi kalau umpamanya sedang bagus, by the end of closing seasons gitu umpamanya yang GOP-nya sudah kelihatan above budget, showing forecast ke depan yang lumayan membaik gitu, kita yang usulkan a few sampel yang seperti ini gitu. Itu kira-kira Pak Hana. Nah, yang lebih tricky-nya begini. Between repairs sama yang akan dibayarkan owner itu tipis perbedaannya. Saya contohkan begini. If you are painting one rooms gitu ya, atau karpet lah karena Pak Anang tadi contohnya karpet gitu ya. If you are fixing one carpet in one meeting rooms gitu, satu aja yang jelek mau diganti, itu adalah expense gitu. Itu property expense gitu. Kita yang bayar, manajer yang bayar. Tapi kalau ganti semua karpet di satu hotel, itu adalah capex gitu. Gitu Usali itu gitu. Nah, jadi kalau Anda manajer yang cerdik gitu ya, saya bukan bilang bidang licik gitu, ya harus ganti semua gitu. Usulin semua baru jadi capex gitu. Gitu lah kira-kira gitu ya. Kalau Anda ngecat satu bidang tembok, itu adalah maintenance gitu. Itu nongolnya di atas GOP, biayanya operation itu gitu. Tapi kalau ngecat the whole building, that goes to capital expenditures gitu. Nah, begitu kira-kira. Uniform juga begitu. If you change one uniform karena dia rusak atau apa, itu biayanya operation. Tapi if you change the whole uniform, kan bisa dibilang, oh ini gayanya sudah outdated, jadi kita harus ganti semua gitulah kira-kira. Tapi kalau digantinya satu, wah itu mempengaruhi GOP dia gitu, Pak. Nah gitu kira-kira ya. Jadi bukannya ngajarin nggak bener gitu, tapi kan trik lah itu gitu ya, supaya kita jadi kita berhasil dalam melakukan bisnis gitu. Gitu Pak Anang, mudah-mudahan menjawab ya.
Terima kasih Bapak insight-nya.
Oke, good. Oke, thank you ya. Sekarang kita move ke let me show you one video. Mungkin after this you can relate with what is happening in your respective property business ya. It's a very short videos. Nanti after this saya akan minta lagi teman-teman untuk sharing what is happening in your area, what is good mungkin, and what is not good gitu, and what the things that you can change in your respective area. Ya, nanti siap-siapkan idenya ya. Bentar ya. Nah, dia tadi. Ya.
The Maintenance and Engineering Department.
Suaranya kedengeran ya?
Dengar.
Pak.
Oke, very good. Ya, saya lanjut ya. Silakan disimak. Nanti coba di-relate dengan your respective business property ya. Go ahead.
And of hotels requires crucial planning and strategizing. Often, management of the physical hotel facilities gets difficult, but this department makes it easy by managing the maintenance software. Hotel maintenance is done to keep up with various different systems that are used in the industry of hospitality. Their responsibility is to cater to the general building operations and requires a large breadth of expertise from hotel maintenance crews. Some of the major segments which need to be handled by this department are refrigeration, elevators, phone lines and personal computers, room furnishings, lighting fixtures. Let's discuss the places which require hotel maintenance management. Resorts are usually located at suburban locations and require unique maintenance needs. Due to their location, they have to supply their own electricity, waste disposal, and water. Also, they have to keep up with the additional features that they offer. Some of the extra features like special facilities are swimming, skiing and golf clubs. Casino hotels' primary function is to expand their business and lodging is used as a secondary method of income. In addition, there are other maintenance areas that require attention such as machines and food service areas. Service apartments are residential hotels that offer longer stay times. Their maintenance methodology resembles those of apartments rather than hotels. There are some specific duties of the Maintenance and Engineering Department which we are going to discuss now. The maintenance of the structure of the building holds vital importance. Quite a few basic activities need to be undertaken to preserve its initial appearance and function. Some of the major segments that need to be taken care of are deterioration of building surfaces, protective treatments to retard corrosions, and repair of roofing leakages. The system's operation includes continuous attention for the effective operation of the buildings. Installed systems require repair and replacement when anything goes out of order. Not paying enough attention can lead to poor operational performance and degraded guest feedback. It also draws unnecessary attention and also creates managerial nightmares. The maintenance of guest rooms contributes to the overall experience in a positive or negative manner. The furnishings and fixtures are maintained by the department's staff or the contractor of supervision. The POM budget usually allows 2 to 3% to be spent on furniture and 3 to 4% on painting and decorating. The Maintenance and Engineering Department receives an approximate percentage of 11% of the total property budget. It is done because accurate budgeting and cost control is quite imperative. Also, it requires optimum care and analysis. Lastly, it is important to know about the staff in maintenance and engineering department. The maintenance director is responsible for handling high-level planning and keeping up with the tasks of the hotel. They work along with the supervisor and hotel manager to create and manage policies that need to be put into action. The maintenance technician is responsible for varied forms of tasks and is also referred to as the jack of all trades. They schedule the maintenance processes and keep up the ground and exteriors of the building. The maintenance supervisor is responsible for maintaining the actions of the technicians. They analyze various metrics such as scheduling, safety, and regulatory compliance, and report them to the maintenance director. That is all about maintenance and engineering in hotels. Do like, share, comment, and subscribe. Explified.
Oke, gitu kira-kira ya. Ntar ya.
This really hasn't been something I went and searched for at job like this, but I
Oke, ya. Itu kira-kira penjelasan sehubungan repair and maintenance. Nah, jadi seperti yang kita ungkapkan tadi, can anybody now taking care or checking on your things gitu? How is that the implementation on your respective areas ya? Anybody would like to share more on this? Ya, mungkin I check with Pak Eksan again ya. Jadi how can you explain a little bit to our teams gitu Pak Eksan? How is the process of your budgeting? How is your engineering department section divided gitu? Which one is internal manning? Which one is outsourcing? Kenapa begini? Kenapa begitu? Silakan Pak Eksan. Supaya our colleague here have a real sample of hotel property industry, how they work on this.
Oke,
Silakan, Pak.
ya, selamat siang Pak, selamat siang teman Bapak Ibu semuanya. Kalau lihat dari video tadi ya Pak, ini dari perspektif dari tim engineering ya, betapa sibuknya ya Pak, apalagi areanya saya lihat tadi itu besar sekali.
Ya.
Jadi memang kalau untuk yang ini ya dari yang saat ini yang di tempat saya memang kalau repair dan maintenance itu sudah kami usahakan itu di budget itu sudah dibuat ya. Jadi setahun sebelumnya itu sudah dibuat. Jadi apa-apa yang pengen ditambahkan atau yang pengen diganti yang seperti yang Bapak bilang tadi, baik dalam hal kecil maupun hal besar itu diusahakan itu semuanya tertulis. Jadi semuanya itu sudah dimasukin ke budget. Jadi untuk pengaplikasiannya pun juga diusahakan juga untuk part-part bulan-bulannya nanti untuk di tahun depan itu sudah tahu apakah nanti di Januari itu mau ngecat, di Februari itu mau ganti karpet, atau di Maret nanti mau ganti PAM atau lain-lain. Itu sesuai dengan forecast dari demand juga. Jadi sesuai demand nih Pak. Jadi memang sudah diaturkan kalau demandnya lagi rendah, nah itu kita bisa nih ganti karpet, kita bisa close satu lantai, nanti ganti ke lantai berikutnya. Tapi kalau lagi rame kita usahakan kita beralih ke pekerjaan yang tidak mengganggu tamu. Jadi seperti itu. Jadi angka-angkanya pun diusahakan itu mendekati dengan angka yang nantinya ya yang akan kita keluarkan di cost di tahun depan. Jadi untuk di tahun ini saat tahun itu berjalan, jadi kita tidak perlu bikin budget baru karena itu sudah dibudgetkan. Jadi seperti itu. Nah, dan juga pun seperti yang Bapak bilang tadi ya, kadang untuk angka yang besar kan itu kan butuh approval owner. Memang kita ini ya Pak, tergantung moodnya owner juga. Kadang kalau moodnya lagi bagus dengan angka yang besar pun beliau itu approve aja. Tapi kalau seandainya mungkin ya lagi turun, revenue lagi turun, jadi kita hanya ngajuin yang kecil-kecil dulu. Jadi nanti kalau seandainya revenue sudah besar, apalagi yang GOP-nya itu kayak bulan lalu GOP bisa sampai 72%. Mengajuin TV untuk untuk semester kedua pun beliau bilang udah bulan ini aja beli, langsung aja beli 100 ganti semua TV-nya. Jadi memang ini ya, jadi memang kita tidak bisa ini juga ya. Jadi apalagi kalau properti yang kita kita pimpin kan kita tahu ya karakternya. Karena kan kita kan sebagai penengah ya Pak, antara manajemen sama owner ya. Jadi kita harus tahu karakter dari operator seperti apa, dari owner seperti apa. Kita sebagai penengah tuh memang harus harus bisa mencari celah agar kedua-keduanya itu tetap connect ya.
Sandwich itu Pak, sandwich.
Jadi seperti itu. Nah, dan juga nanti kalau untuk yang seiring berjalannya waktu, memang nggak seperti tadi di video juga, memang kita kontrol dari cost-nya juga. Jadi nanti harus benar-benar terpantau. Jadi kalau lebih, jadi contoh kadang memang dalam pengaplikasian tiba-tiba yang kita budgetkan 20 juta, pengaplikasiannya 25 juta. Reasonnya pun juga kita harus jelas seperti apa. Jadi biar tahu, maaf. Jadi biar tahu nanti kalau seandainya itu lebihnya kenapa dan bagaimana. Maaf. Itu bisa kita jelaskan ke owner seperti apa, ke operator nanti juga seperti apa. Kenapa budgetnya bisa lebih, dan juga pun kadang kita kalau yang saya sih biasanya kalau yang PNL itu lihatnya itu persentase Pak. Jadi lihatnya persentase. Kalau seandainya budgetnya kan itu kan ada actual, samping itu kan persentase. Kalau seandainya budgetnya budgetnya sekian tapi persentasenya anggaplah oil itu oil 2%, tapi actualnya itu memang angkanya besar, tapi kalau persentasenya masih 2% dari revenue itu masih, bagi saya sih masih make sense ya, karena kan saat kita revenue-nya anggap saja kalau seandainya kamar budgetnya itu untuk bulan ini 3.000 kamar yang terjual, tapi dalam actualnya itu 3.500. Tidak mungkin dong ini bahasanya kita budget laundry-nya itu cuma 20 juta, padahal home sold-nya itu kan lebih banyak ya Pak. Nah, jadi seperti itu. Jadi kalau saya sih lebih suka sih compare-nya persentase. Selama persentasenya itu tidak jauh dari budget, itu masih aman-aman saja. Seperti itu.
Halo Pak Iksan.
Ya. Halo Pak.
Ya, Pak Iksannya mungkin agak terputus ya for signal ya. While waiting for Pak Iksan to come. Udah nyambung? Oh, oke. Oke, mungkin lagi ada masalah dengan sinyal ya. Tapi a few thing that very interesting ya when Pak Iksan explaining on what is happening ya. First, if I may take down ya. First, taking initiative to propose more budget when GOP achievement good, that one that push gitu. Jadi for instance, when last month they produce 70% GOP, that is the time to propose all of the thing that related to owner expense gitu. Biasanya di-approve kan gitu ya. Jadi in line with the one that we discussed just now ya. And then second thing, controlling the expense is not by numbers, but by the percentage. That's also very important ya. Jadi when you are having good business, it's good also to maintain or prepare more gitu, because that's also investment kan gitu. Ya. Jadi when it is come to when the business is not so good gitu, then you follow the trend by the repair and maintenance. Of course, we can, until a certain extent can be tolerated gitu ya. Tapi the good control according to Pak Iksan is to ensure the spending following the trend of higher and lower GOPs gitu, which is very very good ya. And then the third one, the key take that I can see is, this is also very interesting ya. When we do some project, either repair or maintenance, it is quite reverse with the business gitu. Jadi when business low, you do the work gitu. When business high, you cannot really do the work gitu masalahnya gitu. Jadi it's a kind of how do you call it? Controversy gitu. When business good, you have the money, but you cannot do the work gitu. Because a lot of guests in the hotel kan gitu. Gimana mau servisin kamar orang kamarnya lagi penuh, padahal duitnya ada banyak gitu. Then that's why the planning of doing things is very very important gitu. The money is there, but the hotel full, so you cannot do the work gitu. The hotel is empty, you don't have money. Nah, that's why you have to very smart in handling this kind of things ya. Gitu. And then the third one that I think also very important, special for property with operators gitu. Rules of GM or management ya is very crucial because you are in the side of explaining to the operator, which is in this case Pak Eksan apa ya? Neo itu apa ya? Archipelago ya?
Iya Pak, Archipelago Pak.
Ya. Okay. Jadi if Archipelago is basically the boss of Pak Eksan gitu. Tapi at the same time owner is also the boss gitu. Jadi we have to, like you have father and mother kan gitu kira-kira. Jadi have to be balance between the need of operators and then the owners. Itu special for the one with operators. If the hotel you run by yourself, you just need to talk to the owners kan gitu. Tapi in most cases like people that working with management company, then you have to balance this one ya. Kalau engineeringnya bagaimana timnya Pak? Gimana membagi sectionnya di sana?
Ya Pak,
Ya,
engineeringnya ya Pak.
bagaimana section engineeringnya?
Kalau untuk session engineeringnya sebetulnya tidak ada yang spesifik Pak. Jadi hanya di level staff, supervisor sama chief engineering. Dia memang tidak tidak ada yang staff yang spesifik karena ruang lingkupnya pun juga tidak tidak besar kecuali kalau Aston ke atas Pak.
Oke. Jadi
Ya,
banyak yang di outsource kalau ada perbaikan besar tuh outsource seperti ya?
Betul, iya. Jadi kayak kalau sudah yang lift, ngecat yang dalam bentuk ini ruang lingkup yang besar, nah itu sudah outsource semua Pak. Iya.
Oke, very good. Ya, jadi this is one sample. Basically, we need to calculate gitu, which one is more beneficial. Either we have the team of expert in our manning, or you do outsourcing gitu ya. Jadi I believe Pak Eksan and team already do some exercise. Kayaknya lebih menguntungkan pasti untuk menaruh mungkin maintenance of the elevator in I don't know Mitsubishi atau Kone atau apa gitu ya. Dan only mungkin kira-kira only troubleshooter yang ada di hotel kan gitu Pak Eksan ya. Jadi something that really connected to the daily operation that need to be there gitu. If it is bigger project, goes to outsider. Ya, very good. Good. Itu kira-kira. Anybody else would like to share something on this? Saya ingin dengar dari PIB nih, teman-teman PIB yang propertinya luas ini. Siapa yang mau represent? Apa yang ada nih? Teman-teman dari PIB, anybody would like to volunteer to talk about maintenance in our lovely campus? Nggak ada ya? Nggak ada. Bu Ratih deh. Yang kebaca sama saya Bu Ratih. Mudah-mudahan ada orangnya nih. Bu Ratih ada? Wah, kayaknya belum nyambung ya. Atau Bu Cika, kalau ada.
Selamat siang, Pak.
Selamat siang Bu Cika. Sharing yang sepengetahuannya saja Bu ya. Jadi your understanding kayak apa sih maintenance kampus kita yang luas dan cantik gitu? Kayak apa sih dia di situ gitu? Silakan.
Oke.
Bagiannya mungkin departemennya ada atau apa? Silakan.
Kebetulan saya dari bagian BAK, Pak. Jadi bagian akademik dan kemahasiswaan. Di situ juga ada ruangan kelas yang harus saya em, eh,
Maintain.
maintenance. Jadi di sana kalau dari segi saya biasanya melakukan pencegahan sebelum terjadinya kerusakan. Jadi jika misalnya ada mulai saya lihat per kelas LCD yang mulai em, ada garis-garisnya atau apa, lalu langsung saya lakukan koordinasi dengan tim IT untuk pengecekan tersebut. Dan kalau misalnya ada juga jika sudah dilakukan perbaikan seperti AC itu dengan tim dari engineering, dan ada beberapa juga yang dilakukan dari memprediksi kerusakan yang sudah ada kayak gitu sih Pak. Jadi kalau dari segi saya biasanya memang berkoordinasi pada bagian terkait jika ada kerusakan-kerusakan yang mungkin sudah bisa diprediksikan atau sudah terjadi kerusakan gitu.
Ya, kalau maintenance-nya gimana Bu? Anggap nih bersihin AC gitu. Itu dilakukan setiap berapa lama atau ada schedule-schedule-nya gitu ada nggak ya?
Oke, kalau dari yang saya lihat dari
Ya,
segi AC biasanya tim engineering rutin untuk mengeceknya apakah harus ganti preon atau memang ada yang bermasalah, atau memang ada laporan khusus juga dari student yang mungkin merasakan bahwa adanya AC yang kurang dingin, seperti itu sih Pak. Jadi
ya,
selain dari pengecekan yang rutin beberapa bulan sekali, eh, mereka juga menerima laporan dan hasil dari pengecekan dari saya juga, gitu sih Pak.
very good, very good ya. Berapa orang Bu di engineering di tempat kita?
Engineering sekitar kurang lebih 5 sampai 6 orang, Pak.
Benar orang ya. Jadi banyak outsource juga berarti ya, kayak Pak Eksan tadi ya. Kan
Kalau
kita
Hosaki
luasnya berapa ya?
15 hektar, Pak.
15 hektar, oh, gede banget ya.
Jadi
Oke,
engineering di tempat PIB juga kita juga ada hotel kan Pak, Graha Wiyata. Jadi
ya,
mereka
ya.
juga bantu untuk maintenance di bagian hotel di
Very
PIB.
good, very good.
Begitu.
Very good. Ya, thank you Bu Cika ya.
Ya,
Good
thank
ya.
you
Jadi
Pak.
the key take that I see from this, our campus PIB, it looks like what they do in terms of repair and maintenance is already applying a concept of the one that we discussed just now ya, a correct repairs. There must be also some budgeting in between gitu ya. And the hotel inside, I believe also technically already arranged based on repair and maintenance ya. Jadi that very very good ya. Jadi that's also represent how beautiful our campus is kan gitu ya. Jadi can see from the repair and maintenance that they do. Good. Any other question from anybody about this? I do hope that everybody can relate gitu ya. What is relation? What is the relation between this of this concept in whenever or wherever you are doing some properties ya, including a very small one, your house gitu, your office gitu. There should be some arrangement on this if we want to do it correctly ya. Good. If not, before I close the session, I would like just to give some samples ya on a few things related to this ya. Sebentar. Saya buka dulu as a sample. Oke. Jadi in order to do this properly gitu, there should be some systematic on top of the software itself gitu ya. Jadi for a sample, I can show you a few things like this one, for instance, just one sample ya. Jadi in order to have a proper planning on how do they do, this is one sample. To do the arrangement of maintaining the cleanliness of restroom area in public area. So we arrange procedures. When the public area should clean that one, every what hour they should come to the room or to the area, when to avoid people using it, so we are at the same time doing the cleaning gitu. Jadi that kind of thing we have to put in policy and procedures gitu ya. Jadi this is on top of the software, so our staff also having the same understanding on how to maintain our area. And another thing that I would like to share is auditing gitu ya. Jadi in the beginning, I think when Pak Dewa talking about accreditation and everything gitu ya, very important also, besides we are doing our effort gitu ya to maintain our property properly, there should be also some audit gitu on what is happening. This is a sample of property audit that I used to do gitu ya. Jadi this is when I was still at Hilton, just sampel ya, bukan untuk dibawa kemana-mana. Jadi in every section there is an audit gitu. So the one that related to property maintenance adalah walkthrough to walk around ya. Jadi in walk around they will see gitu. Is that the cleaning schedule in place gitu ya? Is there a storage of cleanliness? All hardware are clean and maintained. No blown bulbs are around and everything. So there should be some checklists frequently, systematically, so people can see that the repair and maintenance are done. Yeah, in front of the house, for instance.
Izin
Yes,
Bapak saya potong mungkin
silakan.
sedikit
Boleh.
sharing
Ya.
karena sebelumnya sempat di hotel dan sekarang di sekolah mungkin sangat berbeda. Tadi saya dari mendengar apa yang sudah di-sharing. Kalau dulu dari segi maintenance saya sempat ada audit juga Pak Iksa kalau di bagian accounting, kalau di bagian departemen juga ada lagi dari corporate. Nah, setelah itu kalau tadi dari Pomek tadi sendiri itu yang dulu di properti yang pernah saya pegang itu mereka memperhatikan dari building, electricity, mechanical equipment, engineering supplies, maintenance dari landscape, life and safety. Nah, sedangkan ketika saya sekarang berada di pendidikan nih Pak, di SMK, ini propertinya sama menurut saya sih sama besar, tetapi pembagiannya tidak seperti spesifik di hotel. Nah, di sana hanya ada sapras yang dimana langsung dipegang oleh yayasan. Jadi ketika kita melakukan maintenance itu agak cukup perlu waktu lama, sedangkan kita butuh misalnya hal kecil di safety kita perlu CCTV gitu. Nah, itu mungkin akan lebih susah dibandingkan kita kalau di hotel kita ada data bahwa kita memerlukan ada kerusakan di CCTV, kita ajukan akhirnya datang gitu barangnya. Kalau di SMK kita ada dana yang dipisah nih, misalnya karena swasta ada yayasan, ada BOS dan lain-lain, itu yang membedakan saya. Kalau di properti manajemennya mungkin berbeda, dan karena kan baru juga nih di dunia pendidikan Pak, itu untuk yang di saya. Sejauh itu hampir sama tadi saya dengar dari rekan-rekan Pak Iksan atau yang lain, Dari segi budgetingnya memang kan sudah masuk tuh Pak. Saya kebetulan juga pakai Pomek dipecah-pecah juga di engineeringnya.
Good, good.
Seperti
Ya, good
itu.
sample. Ya, good sample Bu Gilang ya. Jadi kan tentunya begini, the one that we discussed just now is more or less common practice on what is the property maintenance gitu kira-kira ya. Jadi secara umum begitulah seharusnya. Nah sekarang makanya tadi kan saya contohkan berbeda-beda gitu Bu Gilang ya. Very good. Ada tambahan dari SMK kan SMK mana nih? Triatmajaya ya.
Betul, Triatmajaya Bapak.
Ya, oke, good. Jadi pada saat kita sekarang di properti yang berbeda, tentunya akan ada organization chart yang berbeda kan gitu. Jadi dia kenanya sarana prasarana dan lain sebagainya. Nah, dalam konteks itulah bagaimana kita mengadaptasikan begitulah kira-kira nanti ya. Of course nggak mungkin kita rubah di Triatmajaya harus ada konflik kayak punyanya Pak Eksan yang itu kan nggak bisa tuh karena beda culture gitu ya. Nah, cuman bagaimana kita menginfluence nanti ya itu si sarana prasarana itu supaya ya lebih dekat dengan keperluan repair and maintenance begitulah kira-kira. Jadi harapannya by learning this in every corner of business gitu teman-teman, contohnya kayak Bu Gilang ini bisa mempengaruhi, bisa influencing gitu. Gimana sih seharusnya property maintenance gitu ya. Paling buruk adalah di rumah kita sendiri kita property maintenance kan gitu. Jadi di rumah gimana ini schedule AC-nya kita mulai record. Begitulah harapannya dengan pembelajaran gitu ya. Very good. Thank you Bu Gilang untuk insight-nya.
Ya, tambahan lagi satu mungkin Pak yang beda tuh seperti kita kalau di hotel 3 bulan, 6 bulan kita pasti tiap harinya, minggunya kan memang kita ada checking AC nih Pak. Nah,
Ya,
kalau yang misalnya kalau di SMK kan kita, nah untuk bersihin mungkin di 6 bulan itu juga berbeda ya Pak ya. Itu tadi kan bahas untuk pembersihan AC, padahal SOP kita jalan rencana sih kita kalau boleh ada
ya.
SOP yang seperti karena kan kejuruan swasta juga dan perhotelan mungkin bisa disama-samakan kayak yang di hotel, makanya itu saya 3 bulan di sini belum ada ya pembersihan secara rutin untuk yang itu scheduling itu juga berbeda sih. Ini yang dari instansi hotel dengan
Ya.
pendidikan cukup berbeda karena memang dikasih taunya bahwa ada pendanaan BOS, ada pendanaan yayasan, itu juga beda-beda. Itu yang membuat saya seperti ini ya di properti pendidikan
Good.
seperti itu.
Ya,
Itu
good.
juga
Ya.
Pak sama teman satu yang baru itu yang waste management sih yang baru saya dapatkan. Kalau yang sebelumnya tim engineeringnya waste manajemennya nggak ada. Kalau di sini prasarana dia nambah waste management ada di sarana prasarana untuk yang di sekolah seperti itu.
Very good.
Itu
Ya.
Pak. Thank you.
Good, good. Thank you insight-nya ya. Jadi kalau saya melihatnya kan sangat positif lah ya. Jadi dengan tahu perbedaan dan kelemahan pun itu kan sudah progres namanya gitu ya. Jadi by having this ya seharusnya akan pasti ada input-input yang bagus nanti dari Bu Gilang ke teman-teman sarana prasarana kan gitu ya. Apalagi kalau teman-teman sarana prasarananya nanti bisa kuliah bareng di PIB kan lebih bagus lagi gitu ya. Oke, good. Terima kasih banyak. Before I end up the session, I know this is a very short time already, tinggal 2 menit ya. I would like to give you some hints about next week test gitu ya, because still in my scope itu untuk tes sebentar ya. Jadi tadi sudah ya. Terakhir adalah summary discussion tadi sudah ya. Jadi summarize difference between repair and maintenance. I hope everybody knows already. Standard practice, international, technological aspect, implementation, and systematical. Jadi I'm very happy with everybody's comment gitu ya. So I think the objective of this learning session this afternoon we take it already ya. Nah, next week UTS itu versi saya adalah take home biasa. Nanti teman-teman akan I will give some like questions gitu. Of course it's not a definition, theoretical, it's not like that. It's something like your personal opinion gitu. Jadi my coverage will be that 3 points that we discuss ya. Jadi about the property planning with the score of 30%, about the budgeting for 30% and about this property maintenance another 30%. So something like a very general specific perspective from everybody gitu. Jadi it's not something that you can chat GPT something like that. No, ya. Jadi it's something that you yourself, what is your understanding on this program? So no need to be worried about my test ya. I will work with your prodi gitu to have this UTS next week run ya. Gitu kira-kira. Jadi akhir kata karena sudah jam ya. I thank you very much for this nice interaction during last 3 weeks gitu ya, karena ini terakhir pertemuan kita. Tapi it doesn't mean that we will not meet gitu ya. Jadi if by chance anytime from Prodi arranging your visit to Bali for all of you, we have some gathering, of course I will be very happy to meet you all ya. Jadi keep in touch gitulah kira-kira ya. Jadi jangan baru akhir kuliah tiba-tiba sudah pulang ya. Bocor itu Pak Kris. Ya, thank you. Nah, terakhir saya juga minta maaf kalau ada yang kurang. Ya. Jadi I apologize if anything not match your expectation gitu, and I hope everybody can get something from this class. Ya, jadi please do keep in touch. Outside of the class, we are all friends, and I'm very happy if we can still continue the relationship. Ya, okay. Jadi good luck with your test next week, and I will see you around during your class in PIB. Ya. Terima kasih semua. Have a nice day. Have a nice weekend to you all ya. Terima kasih.
Thank you, Pak.
Thank you.
Thank you, Pak Ricika.
Thank you very much ya.
Bye-bye.
Saya izin ya.